Kwesiada eye omampanyini abadi eche ne no ya paul no se running frankatuni edema NPP amanyoko no michema Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia ekopie mu ewo moving pick won krempumpuni mantemu wo bra one eye media stations ahodo bebre na ehye mu na sebi omo ya no baba ye na omahu se ne ombefa so atutu omanamo na sebi Ghana ene no yesu se ahokere ne ohaw esensem yekoma ye pemmoa ede efi mpanyifo no ho mbetimi apensem ne pomasi bre na busiansem ba kumienu bi akoso ene no Ghana for che papa yisre ne abasa enyasem keto ebinum kra etwe no wo ebo so a enyasem keto ne nyina ye nsem bia yesi media personnel bi ekobusa ye na eye omampanyini abedi eche ne no oye frankatuni di NPP amanyoko na Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia koma ne nsem emuaye bi na sene emuaye ne sifa koye ne Ghana for be na ani anje ho ne no omo kansem no ewo social media ne so me pese nyina ye de yaso ye ni ekohwe bi ne ba ensem de dodo na wo haide ba be sommo adabo free sheet ana wo so yasene ye tie ensem ne bi emresese.
Please let SEO from Akatechi Father come to Uncle Bokwansa.
Good evening, Your Excellency. As usual, I would like to ask my question in three. Say how Janansi as would the Ajamo Pambo Tibebu Sanitri. Your Excellency, a year na me free a year as Sankregua and in Importemo Eba. Na me koi with Madame Fwa no see a morning show of a Kesman Kwame Apiakubi. Your Excellency, it is heart-wrenching. Seminoka say, Tano Shio Idaho, Esitobre, Metimia Jina, the middle of the Tano Insio Namanantiso, Domine Yesu Christo. That is how bad the destruction of our waters have become. Enra, we have to turn ourselves into citizen vigilantes to arrest some Chinese people and send them to the police station on this matter. Besides that, Achimota Forest, Yanyanti say the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources said year in, year out, a certain Owu family, Ayaji Asasi free on 1927, Yanchia Omoka, enti Omodibi Koma Owu family no. Your Excellency, wait there, and your question. A chopper. Achimota Forest here, the old family bika. A binding chia old family nika. Na forest no and na ho. Nemo mi show your forest. Said the YC say no in our quest to benefit from the natural resource of this country. I don't think we can continue like that as a nation. At the end now wo obeye. Sebeya, Yeshua, Yaseno, Abedri, you bet me a reclaiming, nay, bet me a body down by Amanda Chinchima. Thank you.
Please let's take Uncle Bokwansa so we can, because I think now we've taken almost 9 or so questions. Asking for votes, I know, is that's fair, right? Okay, Eben.
All right, thank you very much. So my name is Eben. I work with YFM Ghana. I came all the way from Kumasi actually.
You're welcome.
And YFM Ghana has always been one of Ghana's biggest when you talk about media, especially with relations to the youth.
Let's go to the question.
Now, the question is, I work in the creative arts industry. Most of the times, we get to see our celebrities or people in that industry only when it gets to elections. That's when politicians want to use them because they do know that they carry certain power and they can actually help communicate. Now, my challenge is that, what do we have for the creative arts industry? So many things have been said. One of the things that they often look at is tourism, year of return, beyond the return, which everybody can attest to the fact that it's been successful. Now, what are we doing with our movies? What are we doing with our music, our internet? Because today, we can change the narrative and perception about Ghana with movies. But unfortunately, our movie industry is kind of on a decline. When you talk about actors and actresses, we get to hear of them when they're on their sick beds. There's nothing for them. Any kind of pension scheme, any kind of thing for them. What do we have for the creative arts industry? Since we hold a huge power to actually change the narratives of this country, and the creative arts industry also gets to employ thousands of people.
Then Yakunama will come, and then we are done.
Hello. Miracles, do I have the floor?
Yes, Paul.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Vice President and colleague journalists. I think we're having a very interesting time. Mr. Vice President, I covered the NPP presidential primaries in 1998. I covered election 2000. I covered the NDC contest for election 2004, the one between Mills and Kwesi Botwe. I covered election 2004, 2008, 12, 16, 20. I have never seen a presidential candidate, whether in opposition or in government, focusing his campaign to the people about policy initiatives and policies that have been achieved. I also covered the UK election in 2001 for Tony Blair, and I covered also the UK election in 2019. You will find in those places that they were always articulating policy, what can be done, what can be solved. You will find here in all of those historical elections that we were not doing that until Mahamudu Bawumia arrived on the scene. Mr. Vice President, whatever happens in December, you have changed the politics of Ghana and Africa for a long time to come. I have nothing more useful to add except that God bless you.
Thank you, Paul.
God bless you.
God bless you too. Yakunama, please take the microphone to Upper East, Natalie Ford, and then Kasapa.
Thank God that finally Grace located me for me to be called. Good evening, Your Excellency, and thanks for the opportunity. I go back to the manifesto. Improved, you proposed a number of new tax regimes. You talked about Ghana's ports being competitive to that of Togo. We know Togo is mainly duty-free. Is Ghana ports going to be duty-free? And if you do that, coupled with the number of taxes and levies you intend to abolish, then there will be shortfall in revenue, which we know that the budget we draw year by year is highly dependent on loans and donor support. So if there are shortfalls in revenue, how are you going to make up, and how will you fund all these lofty promises? Thank you.
Thank you, Yakurama. Upper East, please, and then Bono. Please, wait. Upper East, go ahead. Straight to the question, please.
Good evening, Vice President. In 2019, you accompanied the President to Taunting, widely known as Talisi District, to consult for the construction of the Kolgo multipurpose dam. Years down the line, nothing has happened. I mean, nothing substantial has happened. What has been done is that 11.9 million US dollars have been paid for some. For some, it is no work done. Now, I want to ask your understanding of what that money was used for, and if you think it is prudent use of the taxpayers' money. You've also said that you're going to ensure that it is constructed.
Abusian somewhere be anene no air trend e wa be fontin ten for the case so na ka chire me de so because I like page share leave you comment e won sempa e de ma na bi nsemi na esi makra